In this episode, we are going to take a look on how to use built-in resources. So Arcade comes pre-installed with a lot of built-in resources like images, sprite sheets, all sorts of sounds, logos, and so on, also TTF files for font rendering. So if you want to find the resources, just click on the Getting Started, and here you will find the built-in resources. Click on this one and just scroll down and you will find, for example, if you want to use the Arcade logo, you can refer to this as :resources, / and logo.png. And if you scroll down, you will find a lot of TTF files for font rendering. These are from Kenny. So these are TTF files, and also here some more TTF files for fonts. And here you will find for GUIs, for example for checkboxes, for buttons, and so on, icons. And if you scroll a little bit lower, you will find all sorts of characters you can use in your games. And in Arcade, if you want to load default resources, so resources which come pre-installed with Arcade, you can use this resource path. So :resources, another colon, and then for example images / alien, and you will find the alien blue _climb1.png and so on. So let's load first something from these built-in resources. Okay, the first resource will be an image I'm just going to load, and this will be a female image. So I'm just going to call it image1, and this is in the resources path. Under that there is an images path, under that there is animated characters, female person, and a female person _idle.png. And now let's create a sprite from this PNG file. So I'm going to call it self.playersprite, arcade.sprite, giving it the image and also the scale. And let's set also its position. So self.playersprite.position equals 240 and 360. And now to draw it, let's add it to a sprite list. So here I'm created a sprite list using arcade.spritelist, and now let's append the player sprite to this sprite list using the self.spritelist.append and the player sprite. And now let's also draw this sprite list using the self.spritelist.draw command. And let me run it. And as you can see, we have this female character which comes pre-installed with Arcade. So if you want to learn more, just go to the documentation as I already showed you. And if you want to draw, for example, this alien blue, then just here is the path to it. I'm just going to copy this and create an image too, resources / images / alien, and going to load this one, so alien blue front.png. I'm just going to copy its name from here, and after the alien I'm just going to copy it here. And let's create also a sprite from it, so this will be alien sprite, and setting its position, so alien sprite at position will be at 440 and 360, and also add it to the sprite list. And now we have also this alien. And off screen I have added one more sprite, which will be also from the resources, the logo.png, so Arcade's logo. And creating from it a sprite, so logo sprite equals arcade.sprite, and giving it the logo and setting its position to 640 and 360, and also adding this to the sprite list. And as you can see, this logo is this big, so it covers the alien sprite. So let's make it a little bit smaller, so scale it down. And that's why this scale is here. So I'm just going to scale it to 0.2. It will be scaled down to 20% of its original size. And now, as you can see, the logo is much smaller. Okay, so the next thing I'm just going to show you in this video is how to create our own resources. So for that, you have to call one command, which is the arcade.resources.add_resource_handle, and the resource name will be my assets. You can name it as you wish. I'm just going to name it my assets. The second parameter or the second argument to this add resource handle is the path to the resources. And in my case, I'm just going to add this path. In my case, the resources are on the D drive dev Python folder, and under that it is the Arcade Tuts 2025 folder and the assets folder. So this points to this folder here, assets. And now I have created this resource handle. I can use this resource handle to load resources from this folder. Let me show you. So here after the logo, I'm just going to load the greeny sprite. So in the assets, images, and here is the greeny.png. So now that we have created this my assets handle here in line 6, I can use it like this. So colon my dash assets and colon, and from this folder this points to this folder, and in this folder we have the images folder, and under that we have the greeny.png. And I'm also going to create a sprite from it. So set.greeny_sprite equals arcade.sprite, and this is the image 3. And also let's set its position to 540 and 360, and also add this sprite to the batch or to the sprite list. Let me see it. And as you can see, greeny is here, although I'm just going to move it a little bit further on the X, so 840. So here is greeny. Let's also load the spaceship. I'm just going to copy all of these. So this will be the image 4, and it is in the my assets resource, images, and player ship.png. It will be called ship sprite, and this will load the image 4, and its position will be at 1040, and also change the ship sprite position. And let me add also this to the sprite list. And as you can see, it displays also the ship sprite. Okay, there is one little problem with this approach, that we created this resource handle called my assets, that it points to my D drive. If you will distribute your game, this will be changed. So let's solve this using Python standard library called pathlib. So for that, I'm just going to import from pathlib, import the path, and let's create a path to this file, to this Python file. So I'm just going to name it asset path, and if I print it, so print the asset path, this will print actually the current Python files path, so this 10-resource-handling.py. So let me see it, and as you can see, it prints the path to this Python file. So we should also check its parent directory, so that parent, then this will point to this directory. Let me run it. Okay, and one more thing I'm just going to add is the resolve method. So the resolve method actually, if I hover over with the mouse, make the path absolute, resolving all symlinks on the way and also normalizing the path, and also just add the path to the asset folder. So, and if you are using path, this slash operator is overloaded, and here you will just concatenate the assets path to this path. Let me show you. So now this asset path points to the assets directory. So and now let's use this asset path here instead of this static path. So asset path. And this should work as expected. And these my assets, you can name it as you wish. You can name it banana or I don't know, orange. But remember, if you change the handle name here, you should also change it here and also here. And there is one more thing I'm just going to show you in this one. I'm just going to create, maybe this is a little bit shorter to do the same. So asset path, I'm just going to comment this out. So we can create it like this, asset path and path without giving the file, and that absolute method, and then also concatenate the assets path here. So and this will do the same, but it's a little bit shorter.